With Dr. Kevin. Your name?
Hello, I'm Kevin Ma. Yes, I'm from Buffalo military area, and that's where I live with my twin daughters in 6th grade, and twin daughters in 6th grade, and that's where my dental practice is. I'm really glad to be here today.
And your wildest idea how to tell her how to fix the traffic.
I don't worry about traffic because my work is only a 10 minutes local drive.
Right.
But today it took 2 hours to come here, so you gotta do something about that. 2 hours.
And the next one is the park.
I'm this first thing, congratulations, re-elected second term of the Congress lady.
Thank you.
And also we sponsor the HR 1316 so thank you. So 안녕하십니까. 저는 위클리 워싱턴에서 박정희라고 합니다. 먼저 이렇게 어려운 트래픽 중에서도 이렇게 모이신 여러분들 먼저 어려운 시간 내주셔서 먼저 감사드리고요. 우리 며느리 한번 다시 한번 스포츠 해갖고 넥스트 턴에서도 꼭 다시 한번 더 리일렉트 해가지고 계속해서 우리 코리안 프렌드십을 같이 영원히 한번 했으면 좋겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Did you pick that up at that part? Maryland, you heard Maryland that part and re-election part, right? Like what he said was, we have to be, we have to continue to support, right? Okay.
What was his idea for traffic?
Oh, she didn't tell you the wireless. I think he's okay with the truck. You know what? I drove him. He didn't have to drive. Maybe that was fine. Okay.
Well, it's get a driver.
Hi. A couple times I saw you. Always a big smile, good smile. We love you. From, Casey. Hopefully, we will see you too. My name is Chan Hong. I live in North. I drive in a little over 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
For a long time. Thank you. I see you.
Mr. Hong, he owns and he manages gas stations. Maybe he doesn't mind people having bad traffic so that people can buy more gas or something.
Buy some snacks.
Hi, my name is John. I live in this area. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
She followed instructions.
My mom's name is Jung Kim too. So whenever I see her, I use my mom. She's back in Korea after she retired.
Hi, this is Zelle. I live in University Place, Pierce County.
One of my
Your idea.
It is very nice to see you again. And I hope you be elected again.
She went to meet with you last year in November at the DC.
Hi, my name is Tom Kim. And I live in, I don't know if you know the city name of Bar. So it's a Cape Peninsula down there somewhere, nothing but white people among us. I mean, among them, we're alone. Yeah, weird. Anyway, so my idea of fix the traffic is raise the taxes. Three times. And people gotta think the creative way to combine the value, the designation, something like that. So when we have higher gas prices, much less traffic.
That's true.
So right now in this country, people driving to highway. Look around you. There's only one people driving.
Yeah.
So to me, that comes to gas price.
There you go.
The gas price in California is so high.
It's not.
But gas prices in America relative to everywhere else in the world are really low.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, compared to other places in the world, right? Okay, next let me give to this lady. I know she shares the bed with him.
No, I don't know.
Not sure. Okay, maybe
You just went all in.
That's a consumption.
My name is Min Kim, and yes, I do share a bed with you.
Confirm. It's not a rumor.
Yes. Is it reality? I mean, is it really? Or am I dreaming? He's good. Anyway, so nice meeting you after I've seen you in Washington, D.C. Well, it's good meeting you, but we went to your office. And then again, thank you for supporting HR 69. We're all here to support that as a Korean. Something that we'd like to see that happen by leave this earth. So hopefully, let's see. Anyway, now that I'm retired, I don't drive much, so unfortunately, I don't have a much to complain on that. And I feel sorry for the folks who has to work and fight that traffic. So I will leave that up to you. Okay.
She retired, but I didn't. So.
Yeah, he has to take care of the chickens.
Next, we have a wonderful lady here. She's working closely with Marilyn and Sarah. Campaign manager. There you go.
I'm Sarah DeBella, I'm Congressman Strickland's campaign manager, and I think she should invest in flying cars.
There you go.
Flying cars.
Let me go around here and start from here.
My name is Eun-mi Park, and this is first time to see you in Washington.
Nice.
Actually, I met her in a LA gala. That was first time. Yes, yes. LA gala.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, that was first time. And second time was Washington DC. And this is first time to see you in here. And I have one son and one daughter, and I live in Montreal. And about the traffic, well, I don't have any idea, actually. Yeah, I don't mind the, heavy traffic at all. I think, if we share the car,
Yes.
it would be better. I think so. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Korean American Association president. Nice to see you again. Maybe it's 3 or 4 times. I still remember you at the Porter, Hamburg, Wales, and yeah, so impressed. And then it took 9 minutes to get here from my house. That's
You okay with that?
I want to see you maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th Congresswoman.
Governor.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I will keep seeing you. Okay? Great. Thank you. And we have a wonderful lady here. And I'll just have her introduce herself.
안녕하십니까. 네, 나는 내 코리안 이름은 윤현미, 미국 이름이 데니스윤. 네, 아버지가 연애를 해가지고 조금 하는데 하는 데는 조금 이상해. 미안해요. 그래도 다 알아듣습니다.
괜찮아요.
네. 윤현미 and Denise Yoon. I live in so Marilyn, I have known her for so long. I bug her every day. Run for Congress. This is the perfect time. But then, you know, on the other hand, I'm a little sad because my friend is so busy. So busy. But I am so proud that you made history for us. And we're in the envelope. That was my whole family. We cried. You know, my mother cried, her friends cried, they're all on the cell phone, you know, oh, you know, because nobody ever did that. And the wearing the hanbok means you are 100% Korean heart and spirit.
Right.
Right? So, I said, yeah, she invited here. Thank you. I live, by the way, in Federal Way.
And Miss Denise Yoon didn't tell you guys, but it is a public thing, right? She announced that on her Facebook and everything that she's running this November, right? Running for the city council, the position 7, right? And she is going directly to November, right? And I'm so happy for her.
City council is Federal Way.
Yeah, in Federal Way. In Federal Way.
21,000 Korean and Hebrew.
Right. I did not give this to Mr. Casey Choi because you know, he will own this mic 4 or 5 minutes or something later time, right? All right. Let me give this to the host. His name is on the deed of this house. He owns this house, I know, right? And he gracefully opened this, you know, and invited us, and you know, having this wonderful time together.
Welcome to my home. And then thank you for the great time. And then we talk about all the times. We together is power. So we need more power. So this evening, so we some the traffic problem, and then so many people are really different reason, but this time is coming to all people. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And let me give this to Mr. Casey Choi. And no, you're fine. You're fine there. Yeah, you're fine there. Yeah, you're fine there.
I'm so grateful to be able to come here this year for my dear Nuna, my older sister, Marilyn, to support her campaign with my dear friend in Seattle, 홍찬 대표님, 우리 today host 성현유, 그리고 우리 김민정, 김명주 부부, 우리 김영민 회장님. 또 케빈나도 unsurprisingly great to see you. 수많은 분들 뵙게도 고맙고요. This year marks 7 years of Korea War Armistice Agreement. But still, Korea is the only one remaining important nation in the world. It's been like 73 years to divide the Korean Peninsula. From that division, most Koreans, actually 80 million Koreans in South Korea, North Korea, and overseas, they are suffering from this division. Me, by myself, I'm a second generation of divided family. My dad just passed away without having any time, one chance of meeting his siblings, his family in North Korea. It's very sad. So we need to end this situation. But fortunately enough, we have HR 1369 introduced in US Congress. And Marilyn has been a key, important, pivotal player for the peace issues in the Korean Peninsula. The reason I came here from Southern California, I really want to fully support Marilyn, because even though the bill was introduced by Representative Ray Sherman without Korean American representatives, key player, like key head, important head,
the voice level will not be to the point we really want it. I really want Marilyn to be a key player, grab the initiatives in the U.S. Congress. I know she's going to be a really excellent, extraordinary Congress member, but she also has the opportunity to be a Nobel Prize winner. To finish the division issues in Korean Peninsula. I really hope I support you. As long as I live in here, live in the earth, I'm gonna support you. As long as you are the member in Congress. Governor? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you again, my friend. It's not easy. You know, I'm really worried about because Marilyn just mentioned about me, the situation in Korea. I'm a little bit worried about the democratic situation in South Korea. Too much pressure on the media, too much pressure on union, too much pressure on even for the just. I'm so worried about that. But I kind of the foundational democracy in Korea. It should be like this because we share the same universal value. America shares South Korea as an ally for the democracy and freedom. But I'm really worried. But I have been hesitating to say this situation to Congress member, even to my Nuna, Marilyn. But this is time for me to let her know this situation and get her involved. Something. Okay, thank you again and enjoy tonight. Thank you.
All right. The next one is that I have asked Denise Yoon to read this. Basically, this is a summary of what Marilyn has done for us at the Congress level and here in local level as well. Okay, here we go.
Congresswoman lady, Marilyn.
Congress lady.
Yes, Congress lady, Marilyn Strickland has spent her entire career advocating for jobs, opportunity, fairness, small business, and economic security for all people. She believed there is dignity in all work. That I can testify. She knows every worker in America needs paid sick leave to take care of themselves, family members, and to isolate when they're sick without worrying about losing income or their job. In Congress, she has accomplished infrastructure investments in transportation, utilities, and affordable housing, and voted for a bipartisan infrastructure package to create jobs and support workers. She knows that our caregivers and parents are the backbone of our economy and has voted for permanent refundability of the child tax credit. This one I am going to try speaking in my Congolish. Even Marilyn took care of her mother. I don't know if you know that. 그러니까 she understands family, Korean tradition, and took care of her mother. Most people don't know that, but she did. And I wanted any Korean in here to know she took care of her mother and she was at her bedside. Inmin Strickland. Yes. Inmin. Maryland supports the national paid family leave policy and will continue to work with labor to protect the rights and organize to collectively bargain, and I will always. She has also supported extending effective policies like the Earned Income Tax Credit, temporary assistance for needy families, and registered apprenticeships, 100%. She will fight to secure equal pay for women in historically underrepresented communities. That part? 네, 나는 Federal Way에서 사는데 21% Federal Way population Korean.
Wow.
Korean. 45% is a small business. Korean owned. Korean owned. That we are Federal Way. I just wanted to share that with people that in the statistic, the per capita, Federal Way has the #1 Korean American population in the United States. Yes. For one comparison to 100,000. So the ratio, we are #1 in Federal Way. I hope recognition efforts.
Thank
and
you.
then with Maryland in Congress, I bugged her every day. Run, run, run. You're gonna win. I swear you're gonna win. You're gonna win. This is the best time for you to win. She won. And
Twice.
I was talking about the first time. The first time, and then election night, I had to pull over my car where the number came up. You are my hero. My hero. Korean American and intelligent, very intelligent, very well spoken. And we couldn't ask for a better Korean representation. I am so proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny.
All right, I'm going to say this, and it'll be your time. Okay? There you go. I need to raise my voice a little bit because it's whoop whoop kind of thing. Marilyn is a daughter of a veteran of World War II and the Korean War. In Congress, Marilyn works hard on behalf of the tens of thousands of service members, veterans, and military families who call South home. Not only for that, she is truly standing up for peace on earth. Literally, she is doing that with us on our motherland. It's called Korea. Some of us, including me, remember we met with her at the Korea Peace Conference at DC last November. She gladly joined us supporting peace in the Korean Peninsula. She is co-sponsor on the House Bill 1369, Peace on the Korean Peninsula Act at the current Congress. Marilyn co-sponsored that right away, no hesitation. We have to acknowledge that. She is supporting the bill, ending the Korean War permanently. Permanently. That's what we want, right?
Yeah.
Right? And we will make it happen with her, right? Right? So happy to have her here again, back home in Washington State. By the way, some of us will be there at DC again next month. We'll be there to urge Congress to do something this year, ending the long-lasting, unawaited 70 years of Korean War. We need peace, not war, right? Yes. Right. It's an honor for us to have her here with us. Without further ado, let me introduce Congresswoman Marilyn Sstrickland. Now you wait a second, it's your time.
I'm only going to talk for 45 minutes. Well, thank you very much for hosting me and having me here again. It is always great to be with my community, the Korean American community. And I talk about being a Democrat, and this is my 3rd year in Congress. And I know that as Korean Americans, we are not a monolith. We are different perspectives about politics, even different parties. But we always come back to our values and what is important to us as people. We're hardworking, We value family. We are people of faith. And we're everywhere. We're in politics. We're in healthcare. We're in business. We're artists. We're entertainers. We play football for Tottenham Hotspurs. We're everywhere. And I talk about the fact that the relationship between the United States and Korea, regardless of who is president of Korea, must remain strong.
Yes.
Now, I had the honor of attending some events at the White House when President Yoon was here. And I wasn't necessarily going there to support him. I was going there to support the relationship between the United States and the Republic of Korea. And that's incredibly important for us to show up and to be present. Some of the things that I've been working on related to our community, as you all know, making sure that when there are funds available, that we're doing it in multiple languages, including Korean, so that our people can get access to funds. Some people don't even know things are out there. And a lot of the times there's a language barrier that keeps people getting access to funds, whether it's small business, whether it's loans, all the types of things that we know that we should have access to just like everybody else. I was proud to be one of the co-sponsors of HR 1369. And when I look at peace on the Korean Peninsula, it is often a history lesson that I can share with people in Congress. Because for a lot of people in Congress, when they think about Korea, they think about the TV show MASH. And that is the only thing they know. They do not know the entire long and deep history about our people. And, you know, I can tell people, my mother died last June at the age of 93. But I was meeting with some folks from the Jewish community recently, and they were talking about wanting peace between Israel and the Palestinians. And they were saying, well, you need to do this, and you need to do that. And I said, let me tell you my family history, even though I'm only one generation removed from it. When my mother was a little girl, she was forced to learn Japanese in grade school. She wrote and spoke fluent Japanese until the day she passed away. She had to march down the street waving a Japanese flag because at that time during the occupation, they were trying to erase the culture, the history, and the existence of the people in the Korean Peninsula. So we fast forward, and we know that the peninsula was divided in half by the West. And as we talk about peace on the peninsula, it's about making sure that when there is reunification, and there will be one day, that we understand the responsibility that the West has to help rebuild North Korea. And I think about this border that exists, the DMZ, and the number of people who before used to just say, I'm from Korea. It was one peninsula. And a lot of people don't understand that the industrial and natural resources were in the north, and the farming and agriculture was in the south. If you see Seoul today, there are people I know who can't believe how advanced and modern and technological it is. It's one of the biggest economies in the world. And the miracle of coming back so strong after a very short period of time, less than 100 years, is a miracle we should all be proud of. Now, as I look at some of the things happening in Congress today, I will admit that it's very divided. That's an absolute fact. So what I try to do is find points of commonality. This particular bill, Peace on the Korean Peninsula Act, is not even supported by all the Koreans who serve in Congress. But you have those of us who understand what it means and how significant it is. So we are hoping to take back the majority in 2024, get more people to sponsor this, and really help people understand what peace and prosperity can mean for the Korean Peninsula. Germany was reunited. There is a way that we can do this. But we have to be thoughtful about it and understand what it will take to let people move freely from one part of the peninsula to the other. South Koreans have to be accepting of North Koreans. South Koreans have to see the North as a place they may want to live one day. Because you can't just have an influx of people coming from the North. It has to be something that's shared. But we know that nation building is not new to us as a nation, to the West, and there's an opportunity to try and make that happen. It will not be easy, I guarantee you. There will be resistance. That depending on who is president of Korea, you know, one time I was talking to a friend of mine, I said, why does the Korean president only serve one term for 5 years? And sometimes that's a good thing. But we also just want to make sure that we consistently have a relationship with the Republic of South Korea and how strong that relationship is. I recently went to Hawaii and I toured 7 military bases. And we talked about the important relationships that we have with what I call the more strong Asian nations. And South Korea always came up on that list. So we want to make sure that we are united. I am hopeful that here at home, in the Puget Sound region in Washington State, that the Korean American community can come together and be united and speak in one voice and put aside petty differences and say we are all together because this is important to us, and also think about, lifting our voices. A city like Federal Way that is 21% Korean should have a Korean city council member. A state that has a Korean population our size should have a Korean American member of Congress, and I'm proud of that goal. But I think also, too, making sure that we keep our issues on the front burner, that we make sure we lift our voices, that we encourage people to run for office at all levels, but also thinking about the significance of our experience to the American experience. So I'm going to open up for questions right now. I will stop talking for a little while, but thank you for supporting me. It means the world to me, and thank you so much for everything. I appreciate it. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, anyone has a question?
It can be about anything.
Right.
It doesn't have to be about this.
Well, do you remember in the 2011, the other side, which was Japan, nuclear power plant was being issued.
Yeah.
This month,
Fukushima
Daiichi, the nuclear power plant. This month or next month, they release the dumping all radiation contaminated water going to be dumped into the Pacific Ocean. I'm very concerned about my next generation who eating the fish.
Right.
Nobody knows until 10 or 15 years later that can be damage to our body or little kids' body. It create about cancer.
Yep.
The second thing was, the biologically, the genetic gonna be turning different ways.
Yep.
So that person somehow that getting married, then what happened? This big thing happened for our little next generation.
Yep.
My concern was somehow the little fish from anchovy to the all the way to the big salmon.
Yep.
Our people gonna be last for the consumption for the food
On the table.
Yeah. So which was it's gonna be very big damage to the Alaskan fish, to the Seattle world area, the fish industry too. What can you do like this kind of situation for us? We are the Washingtonians,
Gosh, we have so many things to worry about. You need to do something about it.
I was going to say, maybe they're just going to export it. I'm joking. But that's a really big concern. I did hear about the nuclear waste from Fukushima and what they plan to do with it. And and that's really the challenge that we have when it comes to nuclear power. Now, technology has improved dramatically, but every time you have to deal with nuclear waste, that's the problem. Nuclear power is the most clean energy, no doubt. Scientists will tell you that. But how you dispose of the waste has dire consequences for a lot of people, our ecosystem, and our economy. Thank you for that question.
한국말
Because I won't be able to answer. I'll just smile.
우리 모두가 알고 있듯이 한국의 정권이 바뀐 지 1년이 됐는데 그동안 한국인은 굉장히 프라우드했던 그런 그 많은 일들 중에 가장 중요했던 게 한국인에 대한 그런 국격이 높아짐으로써 우리가 굉장히 프라우드하게 생각을 했었어요. 그런데 거기에는 뭐가 있었냐면은 한국의 종전선언과 평화협정 체결에 대한 그런 어떤 움직임들이 많이 활발히 돼가지고 한국이 곧 한반도가 통일이 되는 그런 어떤 꿈을 꾸면서 우리들이 생활을 해왔었는데 그 정권이 이제 물러나고 1년 됐는데 이번에 새로 발표된 정책에 의하면 종전선언과 평화협정을 걔네들은 파기를 했어요.
Okay, let me pause it, right? Before I forget it, right? Yeah, right. It's been a year since the administration, changed in South Korea from Moon to Yoon, right? Since then, the attitude towards North Korea and how we accomplish the peace is changed a lot. Changed a lot. And we have been very proud of what our nation, I mean, motherland, has improved on over others. I mean, everything. But he has a big concern that the tide changes, and especially recently the government announced something, a new policy, which is totally opposite from what has been worked for how many years, right?
우리에게 그런 그 힘을 가졌던 이유 중에 하나는 굉장히 국민들에 대한 일치된 그런 힘들이 발현해서 한국을 이끌어 왔는데 지금 새 정부에 의해서 모든 게 다 파기가 되고 인권이 유린되고 또한 그런 그 폭압적인 그런 그 비윤리적인 형태로 좀 바뀌어 나가고 있어요.
Not only for that, the policy-wise, but also the human rights and attitude towards the democracy has been changed.
오케이, 우리가 의원님을 지지하는 이유 중에 하나는 같은 한국인인 피를 섞고 있기 때문에 우리는 같은 한국인으로서 느끼고 또한 당신이 필요한 그런 힘, 그 자리에 우리들이 요구하는 그런 힘도 같이 실어주기 위해서 우리가 이 자리를 마련한 것입니다.
This is one of those reasons why we are here is that we share, the Korean background, like all of us here. And so we're pleading you, I'm pleading you that you're going to be doing something for Korea, in Korea.
지금 브레스 설문위원회에서 1336 HR로 다시 지금 들어가 있는데 종전선언과 평화협정 또한 이산가족 그 만남에 대한 여러 가지 그 문제들이 들어가서 있는데 우리가 메들리는 걸 혼자 힘으로써 이게 어떤 그 자리에서 머무는 게 아니고 이 워싱턴주에 10명이라는 의원들이 있기 때문에 그분들 같이 힘을 합쳐서 우리들이 요구하는 그 사항을 전달을 해주고 같이 커넥팅돼서 그 힘을 발휘할 수 있는 걸 저희들은 원하고 있습니다.
I'd like to urge you to work with other your colleagues instead of Washington and send off to DC, right? To have them sign on the House Bill 1369, like what you just did. Can you please work with other the representatives from the Washington, ask them to sign the House Bill 1369?
Yeah, and I think there are some who have already signed on to it, but we will definitely do that. But I just want to make sure that we are all clear about the complexity of what goes on in Korea. And I say that because there is a big looming threat in the Indo-Pacific region from China. That's not a joke. And unfortunately, deterring them from attacking means that we have to keep 30,000 troops on the Korean Peninsula.
Yeah.
We have troops in Japan, and we are doing a lot of work around the entire Pacific Rim. And so when we talk about peace, I think what's important here is to help people understand that peace on the Korean Peninsula does not mean we're going to let China roll all over us all over the Pacific. And so it's nuanced, there are a lot of details and moving parts, but ultimately having peace on the Korean Peninsula sometimes can mean that we have to show the North Koreans that if they try to attack us, there will be consequences for it.
All right, thank you.
I have a question in continuing to...
Do you?
Yeah, this week. No, like what we have regarding the dumping the wastewater, nuclear wastewater in Japan. I know Korean, well, there's a different stance from Korean people in the peninsula, and there's a different from Korean government. But what is the stance from the U.S. government? Because it's not only a local issue; it's an international issue. I'm not sure if this international the issue is getting emphasized enough, but I'm sure the U.S. has its own. I'm talking about U.S. in general. What's the stance regarding that nuclear waste that officially Japanese government has announced recently?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we cannot tell a sovereign nation what to do, but we can use our relationships to try to encourage them to do something different. I do not know if the United Nations has taken up this issue, but that would probably be like the ideal venue for something like this. So, realistically, the United States does a lot of things that a lot of countries don't like to do. If someone came to us and said, you can't do that, we would basically laugh and turn our heads. So I think the question is, how do we make the case to help people understand that nuclear waste in the Pacific Ocean in Japan will eventually make its way to U.S. shores? That will affect all of us, including the food chain. And so I think one venue could be the United Nations. We're really raising the issue with the environmental community, with the fishing community, with the business community, helping them understand that not just the consequences of the health impacts, but also how it's going to affect commerce as well.
Thank you.
Yes, Tom.
Okay, I want to say two things. And then one thing is just my opinion.
Yes.
The first thing is, okay, people talk about Korean American in the Congress and any kind of
Right.
up there somewhere.
Right.
But the problem is sometimes we support them as a Korean American, and then sometimes they are against us.
Right.
Not long ago, I'm sorry to say, their names are Michelle, Steele Bob, Michelle,
Young Kim
Yeah.
and Michelle Steele.
Yeah. So, as voters, we really careful about, that person, even though she's a Korean or he's a Korean, we have to know what she is about. So we cannot just simply just support. That's my opinion.
No, you know what? Well, I'll take you to your second point. And I say this all the time. We talk about why representation is important, but representation only matters if you're going to act on behalf of the people you represent. And I say this all the time, so Tom, you are completely correct. Being Korean, being black, being Latino, being whatever is not enough. You have to get the job and you have to work for the communities you represent.
Yeah,
Part two.
Yeah, part two is kind of sad to say this. I'll talk about gun control issues in this. So the thing is, I know how hard it can be because, the Second Amendment for the Constitution. Because of that, I don't think in my lifetime it's not gonna change. So, but I don't want to see any day, every day, in the news, so how many people got killed by the gun, that kind of thing. So, as a Congress lady, so what do you think, or what's the best way or more effective way to gun control, or in that direction?
Yeah.
That's every day I'm facing.
So I can talk a very, very long time about guns, but I'm going to try to keep this very brief. So there are 350 million people who live in the United States. There are more guns than people in the United States. Mass shootings, whether it's school, shopping mall, grocery store, workplace, they have become so common that they don't even make news anymore. I talk to people who live in different parts of the world, Europe, Asia, and they ask me, is it safe to come visit the U.S.? Seriously, they ask me that. Is it safe? Is it safe for me to come here? And you have children in elementary school, little, young babies, who do shooter drills now. That should not be part of a child's experience in school. So there are some things that we have done in the past. There was a time when we banned weapons of war, because it was semi-automatic weapons that shoot large cartridges that shoot many bullets at the same time, very quickly. Those weapons of war should never be in the hands of a civilian. Those weapons of war are meant to kill large numbers of people very, very quickly. And we can't even get a bill on the floor with this majority in Congress right now to even discuss it. The Democrats, when we were in charge, every Congress, we passed something out of the House. And then it goes, ah! Are you okay, Sarah?
Yes, yes.
This is what happens when I talk with my hands.
Sorry. No, you completely missed me.
It's a good thing we have this. But I want to tell you something, Tom. One of the things that happens a lot is that we pass good bills in the U.S. House of Representatives, and then they go to the U.S. Senate and they die.
Yeah.
Because you need 60 votes to do something. And to be honest with you, Tom, I don't know if we're ever going to have 60 Democrats there, but just gun control and gun safety is becoming a very popular issue. There was a time when we were afraid to talk about it because people said my Second Amendment rights. The Second Amendment was written when a gun was a musket, where you had to pack in the heat. I mean, they never imagined that automatic weapons would be part of the discussion. So I just think we keep talking about it. When we do polls, the public 75% of the public says we should ban those weapons. But the Republicans are so beholden to the NRA, they're so afraid of their extremists, and they're afraid that when they run for re-election in a primary, that they will lose because they voted for gun safety. So what I will say to us, though, is that we cannot let that stop us. We have to talk about it all the time. We have to elevate it all the time. And I think sometimes, especially in our community, we should challenge Republicans and say, what's your position on gun control? Because I know that there are Republicans among us, and that's okay. But if we don't hold people accountable, they're not going to change their tune. So anyway, I can talk for an hour about that. I have very strong feelings about it.
Let me just add a little bit. KPEC Legal Committee actually did some research. We have 4 Congress members, Korean American Congress members. We found that 2 Republican Congress members, they got a lot of funds. They were opposed to
from NRA.
5 years. Then they got
tens of thousands of dollars.
But actually, normal ordinary Korean American never knew about that fact. So we gotta know about that. We should not cast our ballot based on the ethnicity, nationality. I just totally agree with her, but we need to know. We need to let all the Korean Americans know about the fact.
And here's what you say during a campaign. When we have Korean American candidates, ask them, what's your position on banning semi-automatic weapons that scare all of us, where we don't feel safe going anywhere anymore? Make them say it on the record. And then tell them, well, this is what my vote depends on. And it's a winning message, but we have to have the courage to do it.
We sent a question to 2 Republican Korean American members, and they never.
That's what they do.
I asked a lot of questions, but she never answered me.
All right.
I have a proposal.
Okay,
right?
what's your proposal?
I threw a verse, and because I have not, had the drink in many minutes, right? Why don't we pour some any kind of liquid?
And make sure I don't spill it.
There you go. Right?
Water, juice, wine.
Yeah, anything, right? Of your choice, right?
Just a minute.
There you go.
We have some champagne.
It's right down here. Yes.
Oh, yes.
But it's not chilled.
Does anybody need some champagne?
What do you think?
If you open this,
Celebrate.
we have to finish the bottle. I was trying to set the bar here. Once you open it, you gotta drink the whole thing.
And we'll do this. I will say, we love, and you say Maryland. That's all you need. Alright? When I say, we love, you say Maryland, right? We love Maryland! There's the next one. I'll say, we want, and you say peace. Alright? What did I say?
We love Maryland.
We love
Maryland.
We want.
We want. I say we want, you say peace.
Okay.
We want peace. We want peace. We love Maryland. There you go.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers.
All right, that concludes the spoken part of our program. Enjoy. Get some more food. I'm going to get some more gooey duck. And thank you very much for being here today. It means the world to me.
Okay, I would like to tell you what this is about, right? And this meal is not free, okay? No, it is free. It is free. But here's the 3 things I can offer you, okay? Actually, you need to put a stamp on it, but it's on us. You don't have to put stamp on it, but you need to put your information and with check. Alright? The stamp is on us, but you need to give us a check. Okay? That's how it works, okay? Alright. No cash, I don't have credit card.
You can put a card on it.
그래서 딱 붙어보고 저는 거기에는 젤이 없더라고요. 그래서 I'm gonna send it to Zelle.
And Actually, we do take a credit card as well.
Yeah.
Right? There's a section there. You just take the wallet and just copy the numbers on it here, okay? All right. And you can make a mistake, put another zero on the card, okay? That's fine, totally fine. Thank you.
더 나은 세상을 위해 공정한 언론의 역할을 다하고자 노력하는 JSTV는 전 제작진의 자발적인 참여로 만들어지는 독립 언론이자 대한 매체입니다. 방송이 마음에 드셨다면 응원의 표시로 지금 좋아요, 구독 버튼을 눌러주세요. 감사합니다.